One thing I would never do if I was the parent of a young athlete and I wanted to help that athlete succeed, maybe play in college, maybe even go pro, is encourage or even force them to pick one sport and focus all of their energy and attention, at least the energy and attention that they put towards sports, into just that one sport. In fact, I would do exactly the opposite. I would encourage my kids to play as many different sports as possible. And if it came to it, I would force them to play different sports. If I could go back in time and change just one thing that I did as a young athlete, it would be to play different sports. And yet early specialization is becoming more and more common, with parents thinking that having their kids focus on just one sport will increase the chances of them succeeding in that sport, when the opposite is actually true. Now, on its face, picking one sport and focusing all your energy and attention on that does make sense, because you'll have more time and energy to put towards mastering that sport. But actually, young athletes develop a lot better if they play multiple sports, and here's why. First off, people who play multiple sports have better general athleticism. That means for the most part, they're faster, they're stronger, more powerful, more agile than athletes who only play one sport. Young athletes who play multiple sports are also much less likely to get injured, both while they're young athletes, but also when they get older. So even if you just play multiple sports when you're a kid, then as you get older, you do pick one sport and focus on it, you're still less likely to get injured. There's also a super underrated benefit to playing multiple sports, which is that you're not going to be good at every sport you play. When I was a kid, I played football, and I avoided playing other sports because I sucked at other sports. But that meant that as I got better and better at football and played with better and better teams and against better and better players and started struggling a little bit because I wasn't always the best anymore, that was a completely new experience for me. If I had played other sports and experienced sucking a little bit more, then that would have been a lot easier for me to deal with. But I think that the greatest benefit to playing multiple sports is just that different sports teach different lessons. On a very technical level, they just teach you to move your body in different ways. Think of someone like Pele, who learned how to dance in addition to playing football, and his dancing definitely inspired some things he did on the field. A more recent example is Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who learned Taekwondo and definitely used that to help him as a footballer. I think I would have benefited from doing dance or Taekwondo, but I think I would have benefited even more from playing something like baseball or golf. Because in football, the pressure is rarely just on you. You have a whole team playing with you. But in the moments when the pressure was on me, when I was taking a penalty in a penalty shootout, for example, I usually crumbled under that pressure. In golf and baseball, the pressure is always on you. I actually did play a season of baseball, and I struck out all the time, but I wish I had played for longer. Not until I could hit the ball, because that was never gonna happen, but until I could walk up to the plate and not be afraid of striking out. Because if I had been able to do that, it would have made a world of difference to me later on as a footballer.